place setting is for the ancient Hindu goddess Kali. She stands for that time in history when female power was first represented as a negative force. It took Connie von Briesen 7 months to stitch the Kali runner.
It represented certain qualities of the Kali image, which has to do with the fact that she decorated herself with snakes and skulls. I don't have any skulls here, but I felt that the iridescent quality would bring the snake quality in. And there's no way to turn anything under, so it all has to be tacked down and then cut away. This is the part that makes me more nervous than anything else, because if I cut through this piece of white linen, I will immediately take the scissors and cut through my jugular vein, because it's the end of the runner. She's the goddess that the men invented for themselves. And so she would tend to take a rather evil, an evil image. I've gotten kind of fond of her though.
I suppose we're ready for everybody to introduce themselves? I'm Rosemary Radmaker, and I really want to say this, that I consider this an honor and a privilege for me to be here this evening. And I'm so happy that John is here, and I'm so happy that Stanley is here, and that Evelyn is here, because this is it, you know, this is it, gals, this is it, guys. We're here, this is it.
What's the paint? What's it made out of, like, compared to acrylics and oil?
It's paint pigment mixed with flux.
Flux is glass. And the reason why there's glass added to the pigment is so that when you put it in the kiln, it will adhere with the glaze of the porcelain.
Is I want to do a plate and a runner using lace, so that the plate will actually make one of those forms, you know, of mine on the plate that'll build up with lace, okay?
Yeah.
And be able to drape it and use those folds and actually have it build up on the plate.
Okay.
Is this okay, Evelyn, or is it close enough?
Yeah, it'll be all right. When you do your butterflies and things, you'll have to make it very little
Tight.
because it will be, otherwise it'll be too wrinkly.
No.
You know, it won't be nice and smooth.
It's smoother because it's dry, because
Yeah.
it's green. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to stick this together. I hope. That's what I'm going to do. Take this and
Lay it in there.
Now make this, pull this thing where it'll just go half around the girl. And you have to put some more of this under there
underneath
because
there.
that's
Okay,
not
here.
stuck. See, that will fall right off when the heat hits it and burns out.
How much have you put on there, Lauren?
Just a whole bunch.
A whole bunch, huh? You just work that in there?
Yeah. And you bring this tight around here and you fold this around like this. See how it just fits right on her? Now, Judy, this is your basic process. You can do whatever you want with it.
Fabulous, Evelyn. That's fabulous. I learned so much. It's unbelievable. I'd like to just fire this just the way it is and then China paint it and see what the problems
without
are.
any arms?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cone 6 glaze, that's what
right.
you're gonna bring.
Right.
Got it, okay.
That's right.
All right, so I'll be back a week from Tuesday, so I'll call you up on Wednesday, huh?
Okay.
Thanks for lunch, as usual, it was terrific.
I love it too. I love
Back to the drawing board.
No good problem.
Yeah, I know.
Where do you want to go?
So we can just put on and in under Gaia.
No, she shouldn't be under Gaia. It would be right in here is where they're gonna, it should be around here.
So we'll mix it up. So we'll put her, I will put her right now under Fertile Goddess, just because she will be there for the placement if you want to do
She shouldn't
that.
go under there because she's
Then
too
you
Miriam
can.
and she should go under the snake goddess.
Then,
Yes, we can, because it's going to be a whole thing right in here, and the center area, all in here, is going to be mixture. And we have a lot of names to lay out and can lay in there.
Egyptian goddess of childbirth, Meskenet, personified by 2 bricks on which at the moment of delivery Egyptian mothers crouched. Nah.
How about Jezebel?
Yeah.
Yes, because she's another one of those people.
Jezebel.
It says here, the Hebrew nation at first had a difficult time suppressing goddess worship. The reason Jezebel has such a bad reputation among Christians and Jews is that she was pro-goddess and anti-Jehovah and had converted King Ahab to her belief in the goddess.
That is fascinating. Who did that? Good card. Good for you.
And
yes, so that's a good one.
And Jochebed, the mother of Moses.
What else did she do?
She saved her son Moses from the edict of the Pharaoh to destroy all male Hebrew infants at birth.
She means she put him in the reed
She
basket?
put him in the reed basket.
Big deal.
Yeah, but if it wasn't for her, then we wouldn't have, you know, had Charlton Heston wouldn't have known what the story. That story.
Good enough.
Okay, there's Miriam, and she is
Miriam
an
is
absolute
definite.
She was a sister of Moses. She was one of his advisors when they led the Jews out of Egypt. She was the leader of the women. There is an interpretation that Moses was the leader of the men while Miriam was the leader of the women, because there's a line in the Bible that says, you know, that she took her timbrel out and the women followed her forth, which has been interpreted to believe that the women actually followed her and that Moses was the leader of the men.
Didn't know that, huh?
From month to month, we never knew where the money would come from. We were always in debt. One of the ways we survived were from $5 and $10 donations that kept coming in the mail. In 1977, we were assured of a major grant, but it fell through at the last minute.
Somehow, all of a sudden, I remember the Ethel Smyth story in the manuscript. How Ethel Smyth, who was not content to write like little short pieces and stuff like a lot of women had done, she wanted to write masses and operas. She wanted which would have required the real support of the music establishment to perform and to finance. And even when she could get something performed, something always happened. Something always happened. The conductor got sick, or the music hall unexpectedly got booked there was a mix-up in the booking. It was like the gears of a system that I watch all the time interface and work for all the men I have ever known, somehow come unglued.
What had happened by then was that the first burst of creative juice was gone. The runners were designed. The talk about the plates was over, and we were into making both of them. The plates and the runners. The plates were breaking. The runners were going slowly. There were insurmountable problems. We didn't have enough people. It was very hard times. The work was horrendous.
I think that the work in this project is some of the most beautiful needlework I'll probably ever see. But I think that this atmosphere sucks. How do you raise the consciousness of those people who feel that their consciousness is already raised? Jesus, it's like Jesus freaks sometimes. Things do not flow in that studio. People don't want to volunteer their time and be put on the defensive on a constant basis. Being assertive is one of my own assets, and I therefore encourage this type of behavior. But I do not accept being bullied. And trust? I didn't write anything about trust. I just had an exclamation mark, because there's no trust. After I wrote that, I dealt with it for a long time, and I thought about it, and the more I thought about it, the more I thought, shit, I could go get some of my old boyfriends back and feel this lousy. I come to the dinner party because I want to be here. I do whatever else I do because I have chosen that path. And I don't try to impose my values on other people.
It really freaks me out that we even consider feminist roles when all of us are so different and we run around being ourselves, and so now you're developing a feminist role, and I don't understand.
Well, I guess I'm
centered into being, I want to be an artist, and I want to have some effect. I want to have some effect upon the public, and I want to have some, I want to be in history books, damn it, why not, you know? And I feel right now like I'm being prepared for that. Something where I couldn't get out of school, and something that I didn't get from my mother, and that I didn't get from society.
This project is too important to me. I want to see that get out there into the public. And if that means that I have to accept Chicago for who she is, with all of her limitations, helping maybe to teach Chicago how to deal with people by how I deal with people, maybe that can be helpful, because I've dealt with handicapped. I'm considering...
We're all handicapped.
I mean, we really are. We all have our areas of handicap where we need to assist each other.
All you have to do is come in when you say you're going to come in and do work, and you've got yourself a track record. It is not a collective. We do have a hierarchy in this project, but it is what I call a flexible hierarchy, in that anybody can move into it if they work. Again, the question comes back down to that basic four-letter word, work.
This week, as most of you know, Millie Stein was killed in an auto accident. She came in doing research and had a background as a librarian and gave to the project all of her books from librarian school that contain all of her research material. And it sort of became known after a while, as has happened to so many people, that we find out what their real skills are. It just didn't seem appropriate when she started that she said, I'm a woodworker. Sometimes just we in general on the project forget how useful and important somebody is. When we were talking about doing more embroidery frames again, and all of a sudden there was nobody to build them. Millie wasn't, a real loud person or around a lot, and had her own studio, and she worked there. And tonight I just wanted to light a candle for all of us on the project, and we have an empty stool where she would have been sitting tonight.
Oh, Emily, I know you want to get up off this plate. You don't belong on here.
I decided to use lace draping for the Emily Dickinson plate because I wanted to surround her solid core with layers of frozen porcelain lace.
So let's go back and pull it out again. Pull it up. I don't mean off. See, I don't like this. I didn't like what happened here at all. Now you dry and be good.
The template is the exact size of the runner, the finished runner. And what we're doing is just stitching a line, basting a line by the edge of the template.
None of these ladies ever want to be the right size. You know, they don't want to be regularized.
No, Christine started off giving me a lot of trouble, and then was quite peaceful when we got our first problem straightened out. And this is the first time she started being bitchy again.
Oh, God. There's a huge crack in it. Oh, good. Press all the way through. Well, it was a nice play.